I don't really care what people think of me. I do what I want. I listen to my soul and I act on my deepest God given convictions. And I do that even if it means some people being upset or thinking bad of me. I do and I follow that. I've been doing that my entire life. I turn my deepest convictions into businesses that help people. Money comes to me easily and life is very fulfilling. And if you worry about what people think and you know that this is holding you back in life, then what I'm about to show you here may change your life. Because if you're going at this by thinking, oh, I'm worried about what people think, and I'd rather just be free of that, and I want to be more confident so that I don't care about what people think, that's actually not the right approach. Because at the depth of this problem that so many people struggle with, especially empathic, spiritual people who have deep power inside, but they struggle with getting it outwards, it's not really a confidence thing. It's actually a deep spiritual identity shift. And I'm going to speak to it here and how you can embrace this to move away from being scared about what people think all the time and actually moving into your most unfuckwithable self. And here's the key: most people have never, ever looked God in the face. They've never even had an inkling of truth in their lives. And if you're on this path, if you have had just a glimpse of divinity in your life, either through introspection or prayer or a medicine journey on plant medicine, and it's changed your life to a degree, you have to realize that that is massive. That is profound. And our entire society is based around worshiping something completely different, what people think, and not the truth and not the divine. And the way I like to think of it is this way, and it's not even a thought, it's a somatic felt sense in the body, okay? If I'm going to build my life around institutions, systems, ways of thinking, and rules that are built by men and women who have never tasted the truth, that is stupid. That's the equivalent of building your house on a bunch of mud and then it falling down and you complaining that you don't have a place to live and you can't breathe and you're cold. And the path that we choose in life very much depends on how much we actually trust the divinity in life and the divinity that's actually coming through us, how much we actually trust our calling and our power and our divine strength from within. And most people are essentially like this chihuahua that is barking at this massive tsunami, this massive calling that's coming from God, from spirit towards you, or that they see reflected to them from other people that are following their power and their grace and the divinity moving through them. And imagine this massive tsunami coming and this chihuahua is just barking at it, going, "Ruff, ruff, 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 ruff. Go away, go away. You're stupid for following your calling. Or who are you to do this thing that you think you can do? And blah, 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 blah." And if you're actually following your calling and if you're aligning your life with divinity, you have to realize that that's going to trigger a lot of people. But if you're walking your path with God in your heart and divinity, and you're trembling vulnerably with humility in your heart, yet you're daring to take the next step after the next step, that's massive. That's why I don't give a fuck when there's a bunch of people criticizing me or doing something. Honestly, it doesn't even happen in my life anymore. It doesn't register on my radar. Like years ago, if I'd made a video or posted something or did something and people would comment on it and go, hey, I just see it as these like little barking chihuahuas who are so effing terrified of their own divinity inside, but they haven't claimed it yet. I see it as it is my duty to actually live my life in according with divine will, with what's appearing for me, so that I may be a better example for the world and for others of what's possible. Even if that means putting myself on the edge, putting my reputation at stake, and risking what a bunch of chihuahuas think of me. It honestly doesn't matter. When you have God on your side, it doesn't effing matter. And our entire world is built upon chihuahuas living in fear, building institutions, rules, laws, regulations, ideas about what's possible and what's not. And a lot of very empathic spiritual people who want to do good in the world they cave to the fear of all that. What will people think of me? I can't go help people because I don't have a certificate from an institution. Or what are they going to say when I finally step out and do my own thing instead of doing the thing that is expected of me by family, by society? I'm telling you, it's just chihuahuas. It doesn't matter. If you have a calling in your heart, I would argue, even though this is perhaps a step towards distortion, that you have the divine responsibility to follow that so that you can be a tsunami upon this world of love and grace and bring that power into the world and bring that love into the world so that this world can actually transform. And if you don't follow that, then you're going to feel more and more like this chihuahua. And it's painful. It's painful to have a tsunami inside of you of change, of wonder, of love and grace, and to pretend that you're a tiny little dog in a scary world. It's painful and it's comfortable. And that's what pisses people off, because when you step into your tsunami of change, of love and grace, it's triggering for them. It's triggering for other people to see you in your power, and they think they're a little chihuahua. And so they will project on you all the fears that they have inside of their terror of stepping into their tsunami on you. Oh, you're not good enough. Who are you to think that? What they're really saying is, I'm so scared. I'm so scared. I'm so scared. You're invalidating my decision to stay a chihuahua. I want to keep barking. I want to keep staying small. And sometimes this is covert. Sometimes this looks like friendly, loving advice. This looks like people telling you to slow down, to lower your expectations a little bit. It has different gradients of the spectrum. And this doesn't mean that you become so oblivious and so this can become an ego trip of its own, what I mean to say. Sometimes you will fuck up. You will be following your God-given calling and you will make errors on the path. You realize, oh, I thought that was the deepest calling, the deepest expression, but I actually got into my ego a little bit and there needs to be an adjustment. Sometimes it's not chihuahuas barking at you, but people, friends, lovers, spouses actually giving you loving feedback that may sound like, no, it sounds like this is the right direction, but what about this? But my point is, you have to step into the tsunami first to be able to know the difference, and you will find out. And God and the divine in the universe will gracefully bestow upon you those lessons lovingly, and you will learn. And through that learning, you will learn greater discernment, and you will be able to channel this power that you are into your life even more gracefully, even more powerfully, even more in alignment. But I'm telling you, it never looks like worrying about what other people think. It is always, always stepping forward, one step at a time, towards God, towards your calling, towards what you're most terrified of. Beyond that fear is liberation. Beyond that fear is your power. And life gets so much easier when you're a freaking tsunami of change, a force of nature to be dealt with. And we don't do that. We don't become that by puffing our ego up and the chihuahua pretending that it's a bulldog. Look at me, I'm so great now. We do that by vulnerably, with humility, taking one step at a time forward. You take one step towards God and God takes two steps towards you. And you take one more step towards God and God takes several more steps towards you. And before you know it, it's just one movement. That's how you stop caring about what people think. That's how you become unfuckwithable, because you have that inside of you and you know what it actually takes, and the conviction inside of you every single day, the demons that you're fighting in your head that tell you you can't do it, you're a piece of crap, all your own inner programming, and yet you're trembling like a leaf. That is true courage, and you're moving forward through that inner war of art, so to speak. And then some chihuahuas come, you're just like, bro, like, you have no idea. It's a good chill. It's cute. It's cute. It's cute. But you start to see through it all. You start to see through the facade. Be the tsunami, not the chihuahua. Thanks so much for watching. If you want help with the tsunami thing, links for working with me are down below, and I'll see you next time.